Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I hope everybody's doing good this week. I'll say hello to everybody in the chat so far. We have JD, that's Grandpa Rails. Welcome, JD. How you doing? Then we have John Nippenberg. I don't do cookies, John. I have recipes my mom left me, but I never made any. So maybe I'll start making them and then I can give them away. And then we got Dwight Curley here. Hey, Dwight, welcome. How you doing? Did you ever get that section of track fixed yet? And then we got Truck Shriver here. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Welcome. Glad to see you in here. How's it going with you? And so that's everybody here so far. More people will pop in as it approaches the 8 o'clock hour. I started a little early. No big deal. Just to see how things are going. Yes, I got part done working on another spot. Okay. All right, Dwight. Good luck with that. Yeah, the weather's been in the 70s for the last 2 or 3 days, but it's been cloudy. No sun today. It's all cloudy all day long. I think it wants to rain, but it hasn't rained yet. Might have spitted here and there, I guess. I don't know. There was a guy across the street cutting grass a little while ago. And I guess it wasn't that wet if he was out cutting grass. So I don't know if it rained or not. I wasn't out all day. I was in the house working in here on a layout all day long. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So yeah, it's just been. Wish it would just get a little warmer and stay warm. I mean, we're in May, for God's sakes. May's half over already almost. Today's the 13th. I got to get my dog. Hold on. Hardy, come on. Yeah, my dog was out, so I let him in. He's barking to come in. Clear and 91, 86 now. Yeah, that's nice. I like it when it's hot. I don't mind it when it's cold. I don't care about the cold weather either. But I think it's about time it starts to get warm. That way I can work outside and do things around the house that I want to get done. Got a new weed whacker I want to try out. Stuff like that. It's a gas powered one instead of an electric one. I don't like the electric ones. So we'll see how it goes. So it's a little crazy and stuff. So today I received my second NCE booster, and it came by FedEx. So that wasn't too bad. Came from Florida. I got it off of eBay. And I wasn't, didn't take too long to get here. And so that came, and I set that all up with my NCE meter. And that's simply on the booster, you have an output and it says track on it. And you put two wires on there, and that's your bus line. It goes out to the track. Well, that track wire goes to the NCE meter, and that says DCC input on it. So those two wires go to the DCC input of the NCE meter. You can turn the booster on, and then you'll get DCC volts, but you won't get any amps because there's no draw on the bus line yet. So I hooked up so then on the other side of the DC meter, hey Mike, welcome. How you doing? On the other side of the NCE meter is DCC track, and then you run that wire to the bus line. And what I do is I have a terminal block down there, and I run it to a terminal block, and then it connects to the bus line that goes all the way around. So that way I can pull it apart, and if I have issues, I have a way of troubleshooting things a lot easier that way. So I hooked it up, turned it on. I got 14.2 DCC volts, which is great. And John from Schuylkill Valley River is here. Welcome, John. And that was good, 14.2. And then that bus line was was the second accessory bus line that I installed when I was building my layout. And that is using 1.2 amps. And there's a couple of that is mainly on my helix and a couple of other spots around. I'm not sure where it all goes yet. And the other bus line for accessories is for the upper level and the subway system. So I have another booster on the way. I ordered it from Tony's Trains Exchange, and they shipped it out today. Post office has it in hand. I'm just waiting for it to leave the post office in there. No, they shipped it out on Tuesday. Yesterday they shipped it out. No, yesterday. Yeah, they shipped it out yesterday, and it hasn't moved yet. It's stuck in Vermont, and the post office up there in Vermont. So once it gets moving, it'll move quickly and come down, and it'll be here. I was hoping to have it for the weekend so I can finish up that little project, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that. So I needed another meter, and I ordered that from Iron Planet Hobbies. Chris, welcome. How you doing tonight? So I ordered that another DCC meter, an NCE DCC meter from Iron Planet Hobbies, and they shipped it out already, and it's already at the post office. So I'm guessing that one will get here before the one from Tony's Trains. I don't know what they're doing, but that's the way it is sometimes. So, but the reason I had to go with the different booster, I was telling you that I was having trouble with all my signals and everything. And I found out, okay, the NCE lighted use 10 milliamps per channel. So you have 3 channels on an NCE lighted: green, red, and yellow. Okay, so you can use that'll take 30 milliamps. So when you're calculating how much room you need, you calculate for the 30 milliamps, not just the 1 milliamp. Okay. Now I have close to 300 lights on my system, and each one uses 30 milliamps. So 100 lights at 30 milliamps is 3 amps. That equates to 3 amps. And the NCE recommends that you don't run too much over 3 amps. You can go up to 4 amps, but then you're pushing it on the booster. Okay. So anything below 4 amps is good, and you won't run into problems. So I said, okay. But when I put the first bus line on, it only went up to, and that has 100 lights on it. And Thomas, will all the LEDs be on at the same time? No, Mike, no, they're not. Okay. You can have 2 of them on at the same time if you configure your signal to do so. You could have a yellow flashing and a red solid. You can have a yellow solid and a red flashing. You can have a yellow flashing and a red flashing. And then when they're off, you would have a green. That's on a signal. So you can have those coded up. But in my layout, I just have red, green, and yellow configured. And only one of those aspects are on for a particular condition. It's I have are dwarf signals, and they only have a red and green. So it's either red or it's green. So really, it's only taken up 10 milliamps when the system comes on. So yes. I didn't calculate the amps when I originally did this. Okay, Mike. What I did was I just started adding on to the boosters. Okay. And what I was doing was I was splitting the loads of the bus lines on the boosters. But then I had another issue, and I said, okay, I'm going to put all the accessories bus lines on one booster, because I wasn't running any engines on that, on those bus lines, this accessory. So I didn't think that, and I actually, with the amount of lights I have, it actually overloaded the 5 amp booster. So my booster was sitting at 4.5 and higher when I was running it, and that was on that Tam Valley booster. So I got another NCE booster, put that in, and just put the one bus line on, and I'm only at on that bus line, I'm only at 2 amps now. Hey, Russ, welcome. How you doing tonight? So I got that working, and then I got all the signals on the lower level done, and then the second level, which is behind me, done, and in the second level. And that's the bus line that I originally had on my layout. And so that handles all of the lower level all three lower level sections and the second level signals. And that's close to 100. It's 99. Oh, it came out to be 90 something because on my automation panel, I have LEDs, red and green, to tell me when the train is either running or stopped. And they are controlled by a light. So there's 8 of them conditions there. So that's 8 more lights there. So that's how it works. So I said, okay. So that's the reason why I got separate boosters. So the second one came today. I hooked it up. Like I said, it had 14.2 on the DCC volts, which is good. Then I got 1.2 DCC amps. And not all the signals on my Helix are lit up. And so I looked at a couple of them that weren't lit up, and then they're on the other bus line that's not connected yet. And I'm waiting for that booster to come. So that'll stop line. Oh, there we go. Looks like StreamYard had a little blip there. I disappeared for a second. And I'm back. You guys can still hear me, right? Thumbs up. You can hear me. And let's see. Yeah, I guess I'm back. Okay. So 5x5. Good. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Russ. Good. Yeah, I disappeared for a second. I don't know what happened. A StreamYard does this every once in a while. It just disappears and stuff. So I don't have any bandwidth problems like Jim Tedesco has. Thanks, Chuck. Had before he got Starlink, but with his cable problem he used to have. So anyway, so back to the bus or the boosters. So like I say, I then calculated it all out, and I said I need 3 boosters to handle the load for all the different accessories that I have running. So so they're on their way. Like I said, one came today. I hooked it up, no problem. I just had to get some wire and a terminal block and connect it all, and boom. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes to set up the booster. And then as soon as I plugged, and the system was on already, I connected the booster RJ14. No problem, Model Train Reviews. No problem at all. We're always here. Don't worry about it. So anyway, took me about 15 minutes to hook it up. I connected the bus line to it, and boom, it went and came up. And then I noticed a couple signals on the Helix weren't on, and I traced the wires, and they're going to the other bus line. And maybe I'll see how difficult it is to reroute it to the bus line at the Helix. It's for the Helix and stuff. So have to wait and see. Once the other booster gets here, I'll see what signals and see what the load is on that, and go from there. So the other bus line has 100 plus, I think. I'm not sure exactly how many are on that bus line, But I'll do an evaluation and see if it's only using 2 point some amps, then I'm not going to worry about it so much. If it's using more than if it goes over 3, then I'll start moving the helix signals over to the other booster and go from there. Might have to run some longer feeder wires or something like that, because I think that's what I did when I was hooking the signals up. I just found the closest accessory bus line and wasn't thinking about the loads and stuff like that at that time. So something else to look into when I get there. So meanwhile, while I was waiting for the boosters to come, I said, it's time to start the train up on my 5th level. So I had all kinds of trouble with the engines on the outside track, and they were always derailing. And it was the rear engine of the consist. Front wheel would derail. So I reversed it in the consist, made it a reversed engine. So I have the front one going forward and the rear one going in reverse going forward, right? Then they ran around. And so then I added a couple of cars. First, I added the buffer car, which is this guy. Okay. And I have a longer coupler on the front to connect to the engine and stuff like that. I added, this started derailing all the time. So I added more weight to this, and that took care of that problem. So then I started adding tank cars, and they were derailing. So I added more weight to them right over the wheel, and I then put them on. I had one on, and it ran around successfully. No derailments with the extra weight. I had another car, it derailed. I added weight to that car, ran it around, no problems. I added the third car, and as it was going around up on the 5th level, it comes around a corner, and then it goes up a slight incline. Not much, but a slight incline going up, and then it comes all the way across and comes over to this side of the room and goes around. Well, as it was coming around that, it goes through a turnout, and that splits it to go the long way around or the short way around up there. And what happened was this buffer car came uncoupled from the engine, and it rolled back down the hill and back onto the front of the 5th level. So they had 2 different types of KD couplers in them. So then I just said, okay, I'm going to change the KD coupler in the engine, and I didn't change the coupler in this car. So I got to get some new couplers, and it only uncoupled when I added the third tank car. Once I added the third tank car, there was enough weight to pull it back and release it. So I don't like these kind of KD couplers. The coupler part. I don't like these kind. I don't know what mod number this is, but I think I'm going to switch them to a longer, like a 146 or something like that. Those couplers don't couple, and that's what I'm going to do. I got on order next is Um, I found this ad on YouTube, and it was an uncoupler tool. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'll show it in a video when I get it. I ordered it today, and they shipped it already today. So, and that's coming by UPS. So, UPS hasn't picked up the package yet. They'll probably pick it up either later today or tomorrow for sure. And then I don't know what town this company is in or what state it's in, but it'll be coming. And then I'll do a video and show you and give you the details of it when I get it. But it's a new tool. It looks very interesting. The Katie coupler tool I have, that wand, it's a little, it's not very long, and you put it in there and you have to twist it to get them to come apart. It works sometimes and sometimes it don't. You can't twist the cars apart. They don't come apart half the time. And one of my cameras just went offline. Yeah, one of the cameras is gone. Now I'm looking at the screen and it's showing all on. Huh. Why is it showing there as offline and not up here? Oh, it's just showing the last picture on there. That's all. Okay. I'll have to find out why that went offline. That's the north one. Okay. That's this one right here. You don't see my mouse. If I bring the mouse up on that screen, that's this camera here. It says it's offline. Now, I was monkeying around with the cables, moving my things around down the floor here, and that's this camera right above me. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe I knocked the cable loose or something. I don't know. So anyway, that track up there. So I got the engines to go around, and then today the lead engine started derailing coming out of the tunnel up there on the 5th level. So I had to take the tunnel apart, which is nice because that's how I built it, so I can take it apart. So then I had access to the track. And as the engine's coming through the tunnel, it was off the wheel as it was coming to that section of track. It wasn't on that section, because that's a piece of flex track. It's all one section there, so there's no joiners or anything to worry about it causing it to derail or anything. So I got inside the helix and I got up there and I took my thumb and thumbnail and ran it on the inside of the rail. And it 6 more people to hit the like button. And then I ran it on the inside of the rail with my thumb, and I got a couple of pieces of ballast off. And I don't know how the trains were making it through there before, and now it wasn't. So I cleaned that off, and then I got the train to go successfully around again. But I didn't have enough time to put the cars back on. So tomorrow I'll add the cars back on again and see if I can get it to go around. But I'm still thinking that it's going to uncouple again as it's going around that one corner. And I don't have many Katie couplers left because of the Katie coupler project that I did and converting them all. So I might have to get some more couplers to fix this car from uncoupling from the engine. So I have to wait and see. Maybe I'll put 2 couplers on and change these 2 with 2 other couplers that I have and see if they work. I have some overset and underset, but the center set ones, I used a lot of them up already. So I have to restock my Katie coupler supply, I guess. So that was going on with up there. So like I used to have a small vacuum cleaner that was a cordless USB chargeable, and that died. So I need to get another one because I use that to clean the layout with. And I want to run that up there to get that loose ballast out of the track because it's hard to see up in that from the inside of the helix because I only got a 2-step stool in there. I open it up and it's 2 steps, and I'm not quite tall enough to look over top of the top level. So I have to get on my tippy toes and look up, and then I can look in. And I still can't see the inside of the track when I'm on my tippy toes. So I have a 3-step stool. I might put that in there and see if I can get up on the 3rd step. But then if I get on the 3rd step, I'm going to hit my head on the ceiling. But at least I can duck in and still see. Maybe I'll be able to see the track better and go with that. So that's something else I got to look at. And I got to run the train around. After the show, I'll run it again. And we'll go with that. So I also working on another engine that I got. I got the buddy board in. I showed you guys that last week. And I got a video I got to put out yet, but I didn't get it done because I don't have the engine done yet. But I got the buddy board in. I got the decoder in. I got the speaker in. I hooked up the lights and none of the lights worked. And then on somebody's show, I asked, where can I get LEDs for the engine? And there's Bob from PK and W Model Works. How you doing, Bob? Welcome. So they gave me a part number, but I already had that part number, and they aren't the round LEDs. And I dropped off again. StreamYard is having problems tonight. And so that camera came back online. How you like that? So so anyway, on my medicine alert on my phone. So what was I talking about? The LEDs. So I looked in the box and the parts came, the sheet for the parts was in there, and I looked and then I found the part number, and then I did a search for that part number, found it, but Athearn, their company that sells all their parts, they didn't have it in stock. A couple of vendors didn't have it in stock. Then I found a company that it was called Hiawatha Hobbies. I don't know if anybody ever heard of them. And they had that particular part in stock. I ordered it. They shipped it out UPS. and now that camera went offline again. That's weird. I'll have to power cycle it. So anyway, the the those LEDs will be here tomorrow. Yeah, see that one camera keeps going offline. It's weird. So there's something flaky going on, and I got to check the power cable on it. I'll unplug it and plug it back in again, and that'll reset it. Oh, you have, Russ? Yeah, yeah. So that's where I got it from. It's scheduled to be here tomorrow. So, and that's by UPS. So once I get that, then I can finish that engine. And but I think if I can get the other two SD40s working. See, I had 4 SD40s on that train on the 5th level. There was 4 of them. I had 2 in the front and then 2 DPUs. And they weren't running. They were derailing. I think I cleared out the issues, and I'll try running it. And that other engine is the one that was shorting out. And on yesterday, I installed the decoder buddy in the engine that was shorting out, and that fixed it. So that board that came with that engine in the first place was what had the short circuit in it. It wasn't the wheels. The wheels were good. The trucks were good. The wheels were good. The wires coming out of the trucks were good. Nothing wrong with them. And that short caused the decoder to go haywire. So I put the decoder in the mail. Yeah, they're in Wisconsin. That's where it came from. And it's now in, it made it to Pennsylvania today. And they're saying it's going to be here tomorrow. I don't know where they're going to go from that station in Pennsylvania. I've never had anything from UPS come from Pennsylvania to my house. It always goes to a town in New Jersey and then comes to my house. So they may have put it on a truck to go to that town, and it'll get there sometime tonight. And then, I haven't seen that activity on the app, but yeah, they're in Wisconsin. Yeah. I mean, I can go on my app here, and I don't want to see that. And UPS, Hiawatha Hobbies, comes out of actually, it's Elm Grove, Wisconsin, Russ. Maybe Pewaukee, Wisconsin is a small area in Elm Grove. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that town. But Elm Grove, Wisconsin is the facility that the package departed from. And maybe they don't have a UPS store in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know. But anyway, it's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And so it's hey, Alfonso, welcome. Ian from Caboose Shop Hobbies did several JMRI videos using those maps to build his layout to get into JMRI. Oh, really? Yeah. I use I'm a heavy JMRI user here. That's all right. No worries, Mike. Not a problem. Um, and it's I'm a heavy JMRI user here, Mike. I have um, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. I have 9 panels on my JMRI. And what I used to do, Mike, in my JMRI, had it all on one panel. And that got too complicated with the multiple levels and everything. So I separated them all into separate panels. And then I use a function of JMRI called connect. And you can connect one panel to the next. So if you have train track going, like my helix is one panel, and I have multiple levels going into the helix. Well, all those um, turnouts and everything and track, they connect to the other panel with the connect command, and then that's how the trains can continue on to from one panel to the other, stuff like that. So yeah, I have a friend of mine is the developer, one of the developers of JMRI, and I communicate with him um, on the phone, through email, and or over TeamViewer, which is an application you run on your computer. He can connect to my computer, and then we work on troubleshooting problems and stuff like that. So that's the way I have mine, one panel for everything. Yeah, see, um, I didn't have a big enough monitor for the one panel to have everything on it. And what was happening was I would make a change to something and then it would screw up a lot of stuff. So this way, if I want to make a change on the helix, I'm only affecting. That's right, Russ. And then I just have to work on the helix or one town or whatever. Hey, Jim Tedesco, welcome. How you doing tonight? And yeah, we work. I work with him every once in a while, and he informs me when there's updates to JMRI and everything like that. And I try to keep JMRI as current as possible, and it works out. So it's strange how that sort of thing works and stuff. So, but then, like I say, um, hopefully UPS will move that package to where I'll be able to get it. Now they could go to a place in Pennsylvania and they could deliver it to me. UPS has done that once before. Most of the stuff on UPS goes to a town in New Jersey and then comes to me. So we'll see what happens. And then the other package from UPS, I got 2 packages from UPS. Oh, that's that other uncoupling tool. And hopefully that'll work. Who cares about that? And that'll be nice when I get that tool. And so I ordered the new uncoupler. I ordered more resistor wheel sets. You say, why do I need more of those? Well, when I turn on my system, the JMRI system comes up and everything's active. And on my JMRI system, I'm monitoring all the BD20s for block occupancy. And I have switched over. I have one train, I think, that has a caboose on it. That's it. All the other trains have Freds on it. And the Fred, once there's track power, lights up. And it blinks on, it goes off for a few seconds, comes back on, it goes off, comes back on, goes back off. Well, what's happening is that's triggering the BD20 to tell it that there's a car in that spot. And I see on my JMRI panels the track flashing on and off. And then I look at the signals and they're flashing on and off. They're going from red to green, green to yellow, to whatever colors it's supposed to be. And they're going crazy. So the other day I said, I'm going to try putting some resistor wheels on the cars before that Fred car. And I did that, and it stopped flashing because the resistor wheels say, hey, I'm in this block and I'm drawing power, and now that track is lit up. And the Fred will not make it go flicker back and forth, even though it's still flashing on and off. So I had to order more because I have some cars with them and some cars not. And the ones not are at the end of the train because they were the newer cars added to the train. And that's where the Fred car is. So they're not protected. And the trains are longer now and they span 2 blocks. So that's why I need to get more resistor wheels. And then I'll be able to fulfill. I think I ordered enough to cover the couple of trains to get them all resistor wheels. And then if I need more, I'll get more later. So the goal is to put resistor wheels on all the rolling stock, except for the cars that have the brass wheels on them that get track power to run a controller, or a sound car, or the Fred car train, stuff like that. So that's why I ordered those, and I'm going to do that. So last Thursday, after my Wednesday show, I had a doctor's appointment, and I went in for a stress test 2 weeks ago. So I said, okay. Then she said, you got to come in and we'll go over the results and check your meds and all that stuff. And then she gave me a prescription to go for blood work, which I have to go for later on this week. And I go, okay. So then they called me up and said, come in. We wanted to discuss the thing. And I go in and she says, yeah, we found some abnormalities in the reading and stuff like that. And she says, you might have to go in for another type of test. And I said, okay, no problem. Whenever you want to schedule that. And she says, I want to talk to the other heart doctor first. So she said, I'll call you later on in the day. So that was early in the morning. And we got 12. And I think that number jumped up a bit. And a couple more people need to hit that like button. Thank you. And so anyway, they said, we'll call you later on in the day. So she called me. I missed her call, and she left me a message. And the message said, we misread your report. And the other heart doctor said there's no issues. So I said, okay, no problem. And it was pretty funny that they misread the results. And I said, okay. So at least now everything's good. No worries. And I got a little over 2 years left on the battery in the pacemaker. And probably within a year and a half, then I'll have to go in and get another outpatient and replace it to get another battery in. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Well, what can you do, you know? So the other thing I fixed in all this, and sometimes you need to clear your mind. You're working on a problem and you can't resolve it. You contact the vendor. They can't solve it. You see the vendor at a train show and you talk to them there and they can't help you. So you got a problem like that. And this is what this problem is. Like that, okay? I have a train control systems, better known as TCS. It's a UWT-100. And I like the 100 because it's got the thumb. I don't like the dials. I got an NCE wireless cab 06, and it has the dial. And that you can't tell how fast it is, right? Misreads from medical tests happen more than you think. Yeah, I know. You know, and it depends. Maybe they didn't have their cup of coffee that day, or it was the end of the day when they read it and they were tired. Who the heck knows? And as long as, see, what's good about that place that I go to, they don't just do it themselves. They consult with another doctor there. Okay. And I don't even have to ask to do that. They do it on their own. So, which is good. And this is a heart specialist facility. It's not anything else. They only look at people's hearts there. And they're all heart doctors. They're not doctors, you know, that for other things and stuff. So that's what it is. So they're pretty good there. And so that's why I go there. My dad went there. So that's who I trust and that's who I know. So anyway, so back to the UWT. Okay. On my trains, they're all consistent with 2 or more engines, right? So, and how I consist my engines is I do it through CV settings through Decoder Pro. I take the engine in Decoder Pro and I configure it and I put the consist number in CV19. I set up all the advanced consist CVs for the engines and put the engines together physically on the track, and then they run together. Okay? In JMRI, in Decoder Pro, oh yeah, Bob. Well, I wasn't, I don't, even when I got my pacemaker, and some of you've heard this story before, but I'm going to tell you again for the new guys that haven't heard the story before. When I got my pacemaker, I drove I was living with my mom because I just had come back from Florida. So I didn't have a place to live here yet. And I was living with my mom because she was alone because my dad had passed. So I moved in there until I could find a place of my own. And I drove from my town to the heart doctor, which is 25 miles away. I drove to the hospital myself. My girlfriend at the time and my mom came with me. And we got to the heart doctor's office. They took my blood pressure and my heartbeat. They checked my heart. My heart was only pump 20, 20. That was my heart rate. They said, "How did you get here? Did you come by ambulance?" I said, "No, I drove." They couldn't believe I was still walking. They said, "Have you passed out, fainted?" No, I'm fine. So, yeah, see, exactly, Bob. So I just drove to the heart doctor's office. They said, "You're not leaving," and then they put a pacemaker in me the next day, and that was I don't know, 18 years ago, because this is my second pacemaker. They last 10 years. So about this will be in 2 years, it'll be 20 years. So yeah, 18 years ago, something like that. So it's been a long time. And I was still relatively young. And I was the youngest guy in the heart doctor's office. Everybody else was, very old elderly people. So they used to call me Mr. Grassy, the Walking Dead, because I walked in. Because if you have a heart rate of 20, you're very low. Oh, you didn't know I had a pacemaker? Yeah, of course. I've had one for 18 years, Dwight. So, yeah, that's right. So, anyway, so back to the UWT. Okay. So, the engines are in JMRI roster. Okay. So, what I did was I copied the lead engine code in the JMRI roster and created the consist number. So, for example, I have a consist number 41. So I took the lead engine out of the consist for consist 41, and I copied that and I made that engine number 41. And that was in the roster. So I can go on my NCE Power Cab or Power Pro and go and select engine 41, and that'll run that train. No problem. In the mini panel, I can select engine 41 and it'll run that train, no problem. On the NCE Cab 06, I can select engine 41 and it'll run that train, no problem. On a UWT, it will not run the consist. Okay. You can create a consist on the UWT 100, but I don't do that. I don't manually create my consists. All my consists are done with the Power Cat, with the Decoder Pro with the CB settings. So today, I said I'm going to figure this out. So I went in and selected engine 41 because I wanted to test it. So I was up in there and I didn't want to run a cable connected Pro Cap. And so I said, what did JD say? What professionals practice what they do? Doctors and lawyers, so they shouldn't be considered professionals. Yeah, that's true. Some are good, most of them aren't. What can you do, right? I've never had problems. And all the doctors I've gone to, I've been pretty good. So I don't have Pedro, welcome. How you doing tonight? Glad to see you in here. So anyway, I went into the UWT 100 and you hit the engine on there and it brings up the roster from JMRI. And I typed in 41 and it came up with 41. And then I saw a button that I never noticed before. And it said add address. And so let me click on that. And then what it did was it made the address 41S, like in sugar. And as soon as I had that on the screen and I hit the throttle, the engine started moving with the consist. So that was the trick that I needed to know on how to get the consist done. So it'll pull it from the registry. So that was, I just said, look at that, and see how you have a clear mind and you look at it and then you resolve your own problem. So next time I see the TCS guys, I'll explain to them what I did. So tomorrow I'll try reading another consistent, and then I'll see if that one does the same thing. If it does, then I know I resolved the problem. But I was happy to get that engine because now I can take this up there on the creeper with me and run it and watch the train go through the sections and see if it's derailing or not. Because when you have a cable coming up, it reaches up there, but then you have the cable dragging, wrapped around you, and you can't lay it flat on there because it'll fall off and stuff. This I can lay flat on. It's plastic, so I can lay it over the track so it won't short out the track or anything. So it makes it a lot better. So I was glad to get that fixed and working now. So that makes it a lot easier to get things running around and stuff like that. So it's and that camera's still online. That's good. So must have been this some glitches, and see how that goes. So if I go to my see the post office from Tony's Trains, they got it out the door because what I did was I went on Tony's Trains and ordered another booster because I got tired of Evil Bay, and I said I'm not going to order from them on the booster end. I'll order other things from them, but not the boosters because I didn't like the way it was handled. So I ordered from Tony's Trains, and I ordered a booster, and then I said I'll call them on Monday to find out, and they didn't answer the phone, so I emailed them on Monday, and I didn't get a response. So Tuesday I called again, and then I got a hold of the guy again, and I said, "Hey, this is my order, blah blah blah," and he goes, "Oh, those boosters are out of stock." And I said, "Well, why did it let me order something that's out of stock?" And I said, "Do you have another booster?" So there was another one, and he got that out the door and got it out to the post office within a couple of hours. So that was good. So now all I got to do is get the post office to get off their butt and move it out of Vermont because it's been there for 2 days now, and it just sits there. Now, tomorrow when I wake up, if it's not moving, then I will contact the post office again and say, "Hey, guys, what's going on?" at least UPS, look at that. That uncoupling tool was picked up by UPS today. And they're saying it's going to arrive on Friday. That's the estimated delivery date, Friday, the 15th. So that's not bad. So where are they located? Because they got it. Let's see where they're coming from. Oh, they're in a town called Powhatan, Illinois. So that's not too far. So they should be able to get it here by Friday. So that's good. See, it's UPS. Yeah, they are these days. That's right, Russ. Either it's moving and somebody didn't scan it. Let me see. Oh yeah. See, I got a notification on UPS that my package is missing. Now, what's this? Oh, okay. UPS has told me that my package now is in New Hampshire. But the app, it just updated. See, I start talking about them and it starts moving. How's that? Okay. Usually I call them up and that's what happens. So now it's moving. So that's going to be here on Monday, they say. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. And the one from Iron Plant Hobbies that's the NCE DCC meter. That's what's needed for this booster. So I can monitor the amps and wattage on that particular zone. So I have 6 zones now, and this will be the 7th zone. So each zone handles a couple of bus lines. What's the tail guy theory? Pedro subbed and watched your recent video on separate device. What's the tall guy theory? I don't know. Tall guy theory. What video are you talking about? So, I don't know what that. I don't know. Tall guy theory. Don't know what that is, Bob. I didn't do a video on tall guy theory. Let me see. Tall guy theory is on. Paper's t-shirt. On his t-shirt. Oh, okay. Oh well. I got 600. Oh, I got 610 subscribers now. I got 286 active, 287 active watch hours, which translates to see what 2,275.7 watch hours. So can't get over the hump of 2,300 yet. I need about 8 people to watch all my videos, and then that would push me over to 3,000, I think. But anyway, So at least things are moving through the networks now. So, oh, it's his T-shirt. Okay, very good. So, that's very cool. So I'm glad that my UWT works now, and this will be a lot easier to work with than I was looking at the NCE Pro Cab Wi-Fi device. And hey, Edward, welcome. How you doing tonight? Um, Toy guy here. Yeah, very good. So, um, yeah, like I said, I was really glad that I got um, this thing working, and hopefully, I solved that problem, and hopefully, I can remember how I got in there. Oh, very good. Back on first shift. Awesome. That's good, Happy. A new company, the same company, or a different company, Edward? Uh, yeah, somebody on Facebook, or was it YouTube? Somebody posted something about how much the president makes, how much the vice president makes, how much Congress makes after they retire and everything. And then they had how much Social Security, and that was the lowest of all of them, right? So I commented on there. I said, it's time to give the retirees a big raise. And I must have got about 50,000 likes on my comment. I couldn't believe it. But I can't get 50,000 likes on my YouTube video. But something stupid like that, a lot of people like the same thing. So it's funny how that works out. Always getting hit on that one thing I commented on. What can you do? So, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to my buddy in New Jersey and get some more couplers to resolve that uncoupling of that car problem. And or what I could do is use two oversets and they'll connect together. I don't know. I have to see. I have to see what I have in my stock. And this here looks like it's a number 26, a KD 26, and I don't like them. I get the most views from my 3D print shorts. They go into thousands. Yeah, me too, JD. Yeah. Well, I was watching a video. This guy does a podcast, and he always has these women on there, and they think they're going to get a guy that makes millions of dollars a year. And they were saying, well, what kind of guy are you looking for? Well, it has to be a tall guy, and he has to be over 6 feet tall. And I said, you know, the majority of people aren't over 6 feet tall. Most people are under 6 feet tall. And I said, the tallest I ever was 5'11". Now I'm down to 5'11", 5'10 3/4", stuff like that. My weight, I've always been, the highest I've ever been was 185, but now I'm down to 175. Was the last time I went to the doctors? 175. I graduated in high school at 174, so I only gained a pound since I left high school. That was over 50 years ago. So 6'11", maybe 6'10" in my old age. Yeah. See? Yeah, but the majority of the guys are under 6 foot. If you were to take 100 guys, the percentage of guys that are under 6 foot is more than there are over 6 foot. So nice job. Thanks, Russ. Hey, Derek Alexander, welcome. How you doing? I didn't see you pop in. So I didn't miss anybody else, did I? I said hello to Edward. Derek Alexander, I didn't see him drop in, so I said hello to Derek. Yeah, we got quite a few in here. That's good. Yeah, so now I'm just waiting for things to get here so that I can fix up the rest of the stuff. Like, see, you can see the tunnel, you can see the subway system, but you don't see any subway, the signals on. Hey, Dave, welcome. DB Tech Dave just dropped in. How you doing, Dave? So I'm 5'6", used to be 5'7". Yeah, everybody shrinks a little. I was 187 when I graduated from high school. Well, see, I used to wrestle in high school, Russ. So I used to have to cut weight all the time. So when I graduated, I was 174. Yeah, that's right. They're all looking for that number 6 all the time, right? That's about right, Bob. Yeah, they're all looking for the 6 numbers. 6 feet, 6 pack. Yep. That's exactly right, Bob. And Ronald Reduce here. Hey, Ronald, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you in here. Yeah, you guys will have to watch the replay to go back to what I talked about. This is what's funny. Like, I'll have maybe 20 guys on here and I get maybe 15, 18 likes. Then I wake up in the morning and I look at the views, and the views are over 80 views. So I said, I had 80 people watching. No, I had 80 people looking at I had 80 views of my stream. So my streams get a lot of views after the show's over, which is good because then I get watch hour reports. Yeah, that's right. They make you cut weight. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, they beef you up. Yeah, that's what they did. That's right, Bob. That's what I like. Yeah, I think the most I ever had was 30 people in on the show watching at one time. And I don't know how many's in here tonight, but there's quite a few. And I'll find out tomorrow when I see the statistics. and I get my watch hours up. So no, that's not true, Mike. If you're watching the stream and you hit the like button, then you come back again and you hit the like button again, you unliked it. Because I used to do that and it didn't work. 17 watching now. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Grandpa Rails is 17 and 10. Yeah, that's not bad. We got 7 people that didn't hit the like button. So that's okay. I have more than 6 figures, all in HO scale. Right. That's about right, Ed. I never I never calculated what my model railroad is worth because I don't want to know how much I really spend on it. But it's got to be getting up there because all this stuff is relatively new, except for the rolling stock that I had from way back when. But I bought new rolling stock, new engines. Didn't have many engines left, and some of them I was able to convert over to DCC, and the other ones I couldn't. So, yeah, there you go. Exactly. Right. Because a lot of this stuff I 3D printed. Oh, more than 10,000, Jim. More than 10K. More. I'm guessing it's maybe um, closer to 30,000 in the money for all the stuff that I have here. But it would have if it would it'd probably be like 60 or 70 if I didn't have the 3D printer. So a lot, the whole subway system is 3D printed. Single pack or a keg. I don't know. So who cares? Yeah. Just notifications and stuff like that. Yeah, and sometimes the post office sends me a text message when things move, and that's what I just got. That StreamYard is cutting me off again. Okay, guys, this is going to keep on happening, so I'm going to call it a night. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. I appreciate it, and we'll see you all in a stream somewhere. Everybody have a good night. Catch you all later. Thanks again for stopping in. Appreciate you all, and take care, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Good night. Thanks a lot, Dwight. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Jim. Good night, Ronald. Thanks, Chuck. Take care. End stream.